Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky 194 and I appreciate you stopping in to check out my video today. And I hope everybody's doing okay out there. And we're doing something just a little bit different this time. I only do this once in a while. We're going to make an attempt to see if we can do a setup guide here for the BMW M6 at Paul Ricard. I had a request for it. So let's get started here. I'm in the number 9 car. I like that number. This is one of their race cars. So we're going to go to the setup. Now, what I did was I just took this setup here. This is the aggressive. So I already made a setup, but it's just the aggressive. I just named it. So basically, this is the only thing I did to it. This is still all just regular aggressive. I just put this to 50 liters, and I put the steering ratio all the way down. That's it. That's all I've done. So basically, I haven't touched anything else. Aero, dampeners, like I said, the fuel and the brakes are the same. I mean, I changed the fuel, and the brake pads are okay at number 2 anyway. But everything else I have not touched. No alignment. Oh, I did the tire pressures too. I did just the tire pressures because, you know, again, I do that with every setup prior. I do aggressive and, you know, I try to get the tire pressures. I make some laps and try to get them close to being where I want them. And then I start from there. So I always do that anyway in the beginning on the aggressive setup. And then, of course, like I've said before in prior setup guides, you're always going to be chasing that all the time anyway. That's just something continuously that you're always going to be doing. So I have a race weekend here at Paul Ricard. So let's go out and do some laps and see how she does, see what we can do.
Green light. Go, go, go.
It's in the morning here. Not a bad setup. I mean, I did a few laps in the practice, and not bad at all. Oh, I like this BMW. The more I drive it, the more I like it. I wish I was better in it, but I mean, I do like it, especially for a big car. But, you know, it's got advantages too. I mean, especially here, you know, it's got great power. But also it's, you know, the stability of the car. So, I mean, that's one thing that it's definitely, you know, the advantage of it. I mean, look at that. This is just a stock setup. I mean, it's actually pretty good. I love the way this sounds. Sounds so good. I remember one time I didn't really like the way it sounded, so I don't know if that, like I said, I don't know if it was my PC you know, since I got a new one, or they did some better sounds on it. I don't know, but whatever. It's still, I like the sound now. Sounds good. See, it's really stable through these fast turns. And like I said, that's a big advantage of the BMW. I mean, every car has got its advantage and disadvantage. You know, I mean, and one thing I really like about it is just the stability of the car. You know, also, like, you know, for the brakes, you know, you can get on the brakes and, you know, kind of like a Misano, you know, where you got that dog leg. It's really stable through there, and I like that because, I mean, you have that stability when you're in a race.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest.
I mean, you can definitely use that. Then you can push the car and not worry about it, you know, being on the racer's edge. You know, good on the brakes. Always been good on the brakes, though. I mean, BMW, this car has always been really, you know, when I first test drove it, it was good on the brakes. Beautiful here in the morning. I love it. I just am always in awe of ACC. The video, if you haven't watched it, a multiplayer online race with the Porsche at Spa. It's just, the graphics are just mind-blowing to me. Just can't believe, man. Look how, it's definitely stable through here. I hope I can improve it. Like I said, sometimes you go backwards before you go forwards. Tires need a little more pressure.
Fastest step so far.
Bumps a little hard, but usually BMW is pretty good. But Paul Ricard, these curves, they don't look that bad, but man, they are rough. Definitely don't want to hit them too hard because they upset the car really bad. Better. Yeah, they're a little low. I need to raise them up. So tire pressures are a little low, especially for a bigger car. I usually like them just on the high, little on the high side. Seems like they work better with a little bit more air in them. Yeah, I love the way this thing sounds.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
That's not bad. That's not too bad. Of course, the AI is at 97 and the aggression is 95, so it's still the my typical settings. So I mean, it's not easy. That's why even with that, I'm still only 20th. I'm down right almost last. So it's definitely not easy. BMW, it's got a lot of good mid-range, so I mean, you don't have to. That's what's great about this motor. It definitely has a good motor in it. It's not way wide there. It's not near as picky as some of the cars out there. They were all low 27s pressure wise. Alrighty. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, see the 54.6 is number 1 up there. That's flying. Man, that is getting it. Let's see. Okay. Tires. Yeah, a little bit of wear on the inside here. Right there. Let's look at no graining, so that's good. Tire 1 next. Like I said, they probably need a good half a pound at least. I'm going to put this one up to 26. And this one to 26.5. It was running 27, low 27 pressure when they were, when it was going. I'll put this one up to 27, half a pound. This one to 27, half a pound. Try it from there. Again, you got the outer, the middle, and the inner. It's only about 5 degrees difference there. And 4 here. And 4 there. And 4 there. So the back's not too bad, but still, that's a lot of camber in the back that I don't like running that much camber. But we're not going to start there, but I'm just kind of taking a look at it, see what it looks like, because I'm not going to touch that. What we're going to do is electronics. Doesn't look too bad either. Of course, like I said, I already changed that. I always start with the arrow first, so I start over here first and see what we got. Try to get that settled, and because more of the alignment and everything else, unless it's something's way out, more of the alignment or the mechanical grip. I mean, that's not secondary, but it's just not as important as the aero, because it's just, that's really a balance of the car, especially if the car is doing decent. I mean, it would be different if the thing was, you couldn't even drive it. But you know, it's not that, it's pretty nice. So we got a 2 rear wing. The aero variation is 0.6. So again, that's very important. So that means we got 0.6% more aero on the front of the car, and it feels really good. So we probably need to stay around there somewhere. I mean, I'm going in a high-speed right-hand turn, and it's solid. And again, the stability of this BMW. I mean, what can I say? It's just, it's one of the pluses. So let's keep that somewhere. We want to keep it somewhere near there. I'm going to knock this down, the brake ducts, to 3 and 1, because you got such long straightaways, it'll cool the brakes more than enough. So that's, see, now I already went to 0.7. So it's already gone up 1% over the front just by closing up the brake ducts. So, and I want it to turn, I wouldn't mind it at 0.1. I probably wouldn't mind it right around there, because this is my thing with Paul Ricard. As long as you can get through the fast right-hand turn down there at the end of the straight, where you really need to make time up is at either end in those other corners. I mean, especially this car's already doing decent on a straightaway. So what we need to do is we need to see if we can make up some time in the tight sections, especially later in the race when tires are half worn or whatever. If you can make up a lot of time through there if the car really handles. So again, I might try some different combinations here. This looks pretty good. Nothing is really way out of whack. So how far does this go down? So it'll go down 2. So it was at 54. So let's go down to 53. So now we're at 0.9. So that's not bad. Let's go with one more in the wing. Oh, well, maybe not. See, that's the thing with the Beamer. See, it's got lots of... The difference is when you do make an adjustment, it's a big adjustment. Because obviously 7 is max, and that's not that much. I mean, there's a lot of cars that only have that at halfway. I mean, they got 12, 13. I mean, so when you do make an adjustment, it's a big one. Yeah, see, that's gonna knock it way down. So maybe I won't do that. Let's try leave it alone. So let's try that. Okay, so what I did, I went down 1 here and went up 1 here. So it's just 1 down, 1 up. So basically what we're doing, and of course the brake duct. So basically we put from 0.6 to 1.0 on the front. So it should rotate faster, and it's got more weight up on the, you know, more aero weight for the front of the car. So let's try that. We haven't changed anything else. Go make some laps. So pretty much a 57 flat, you know, 57.09 is our fast. 57.09 is our fast lap. So hopefully this will go good. I mean, sometimes with stuff like this, where the car is doing pretty decent, I kind of wonder if I can find any more time out of it. Oh yeah, it feels like it's turning a little bit better, rotating better. And of course, like I said, you know, we can get to shocks and alignment and all those other things. I like doing the aero first, and at least get it really pretty close. Then we can go, you know, if we have to come back and make a teeny bit of adjustment, that's one thing. But You know, I like to get it pretty close to where we want it. I want to stay away from this curb here on the inside. Hit this one's fine, but hit that other one, it's bad. You barely touch it, it's not so bad, but if you really hit on it, these curbs are terrible. I've said it before. If you watched my the Kalami race I did I think a couple months back, I love the way this thing shifts. Man, one of the best shifting cars in ACC. I love the way this thing shifts. Beautiful morning. Oh, out of bounds. Alright, we're just trying to see how this car goes. Tires don't look too bad. I don't mind them running around 28 on this car, because like I said, as long as they don't get, you know, much higher than that. I think it does better on the little bit bigger cars. You know, like this car and the Bentley don't seem to bother it too bad. And of course, really all the cars I do that. I shift early, not early, but you know, usually like the first red light. You know, I shift because you know, really some of it's probably a little bit of over rev, so you can hold the gear in case you don't have to shift for the next gear. Especially this, you know, turbo BMW, especially definitely the turbo cars, because they got, you know, usually more mid-range and let's say the Porsche and stuff, but even the Porsche I do that too. bump. I overcooked it in there. Do this lap. Or probably we might wreck a few times. Gotta push it. Might try a couple different things here at this end of this straight too. See what's the fastest way through there. That's a big part of your lap time. Bumps are terrible around here. Yeah, I might need to come down a little bit on the tires. Just a little bit. We haven't even gotten into any drafting or anything yet. Like that. So I guess going down the gear is the best thing to do. That's what I usually do anyway. But I was just trying to see if it liked it better just staying in sixth. Turning too bad. I think we found a good aero balance. Not bottoming out that I can see anywhere. I mean, it doesn't feel like the front's hitting anywhere to upset the car. That's what, you know, 'cause I lowered it that one notch. we're pretty much on pace with what it was before, so. Like I said, tire pressures, the right front is the only one that's about right. All the other three, I think, need to come down a little bit. All right. See what they're doing. That's 5 degrees. That's 4 degrees. 4 degrees. 3 degrees. Okay. See, they're already cooling down a lot, so, but these need to come down. Probably 3. Leave that the same. And maybe 2 there. Okay. Go back to the arrow. Like I said, this, let's see if I go down to 2. Yeah, let's try 2 and 1. With these long straightaways, it cools them down pretty good, especially with the number 2 brake pad. We'll try it, see how it goes. But basically, we'll leave it here at the 1, because I like that. It seems like it's working pretty good for the balance of the car. Now we can make adjustments other ways. We're still pretty much even. I don't see it. We haven't gained really anything. I haven't changed too much either. So, check this. Look at dampeners. I'm going to make a few changes here. Knock this down, fast bump, because this thing is bouncing all over the place, hitting those bumps. Knock those down a little bit. Try that. I don't want to do a bunch of stuff, but let's knock the fast bump down a little bit and see if that helps with the bumps. Mechanical. Any roll bar with the Beamer, I'm sure, has got to be higher, because with that thing leans going in that fast right-hand turn. So, and that's what you don't want. You want the car to stay as flat as possible, where you don't even hardly see it change at all. So that definitely, which, we can look at the replay in the video. Which, let me go back. Let's check it out. Let's look at this last one. It's a better view here, the second one. And you see it leaning. See it leaning? See it leaning like that? Which, I mean, yeah, see it? See, it's leaning really. Look at that. Look at how hard it's leaning. Look at it. The whole left side is just, from so much going that way. With all the G-force going that way, it's just leaning really hard. And that throws, a lot of times that'll throw aero off the car. So that's what I'm talking about. So let's go back to the garage. So I'm definitely going to go up a good amount on the anti-roll bar. And of course, time limits, so sometimes you got to make some big adjustments. So I'm going to leave the brake bias alone. I'm not going to touch it. Bump stop range, I'm going to jump it up, leave it at 2, but it needs to be a lot heavier. Oh, look at that different wheel rates. Look at that change in that. That's a big difference. 106,000 to 166,000. That's different. Real different. Probably because of that right-hand turn. Is like that. That right-hand turn is so hard on it. they probably put real stiff springs on the front. So that might be what it is. Because look how heavy the bump stop rate is in the back. 800 for the back. That's pretty heavy. I mean, this was only, what, 900 or something. So, I mean, that's, you know, that's, yeah, that's a big difference. And then look at this. See, it's only number 8. That's the lowest bump stop rate I've ever seen on an aggressive setup. That's usually 40 or 50. So that's, I know they redid this setup from before. It's a lot better setup. It's good. It's a lot better setup than it was. I'm going to go up 1 in the spring here. Because again, I don't want the back end to pitch either. I don't want the back end, because then that's going to make the front do something if the back end totally changes. So I'm going to stiffen that up. In fact, I'm going to go down 1 in this. Or I'll leave that alone. We can come back to that later. Leave this alone. So let's just leave it at that. Leave all this. I changed the tire pressures because I want to make sure they stay decent. But we'll not mess with this. So basically all we did, I didn't touch the aero. All we did is change the fast bump. And that's just for bumps. Trying to get over them bumps a little better. And then all we did is concentrate on the mechanical part of this. So anti-roll bar, bump stop rate and range. Well, not even the range here. This is really, the range should probably, I'm going to try it because it's definitely dropping too low. So we changed all that, changed the bump stop range here and the wheel rate. So let's see how it works. See if we go forwards or backwards. Like I said, sometimes you go backwards. I should have had it on. I had it on before. I don't know why it didn't come on. It never comes to come on. Usually it stays on. Still hits pretty hard. Oh, the sun coming up over there. I'm sure we're going to have to watch tire pressures because they're going to, as that sun comes up, it's going to get hotter and it's going to, we're going to have to constantly change the tire pressures. Feels better. Just right there feels better. That feels a lot better over the bumps. Oh, definitely better. 57s. I love the way this thing sounds. Tire pressures look a little closer. I still close the ducts on the front and it's still getting cold on the front brakes. Alright.
Personal fastest lap.
Too much there. Finally got into 56s. All right. Pretty good. Well into the 56s. 56.67. So we gained a good amount right there. Alright. Still need to lower the tire pressures down a little bit. They're still a little bit too hot. Probably because the temperature's coming up. Alright, let's see what we got. Well, that was definitely a better lap. Went 56.67. There's almost 2/10 right there if I'd have that here. That would be down to lower 56. We could get the first sector a little bit better. Okay. So that's good. Alrighty. So the tires, again, I need to lower these down. Lower them down to that. Let's try that. Just leave it at that for now. Again, tires is just something you're always chasing all the time. So this wasn't too bad. We gained some time. So I would leave this here. It's I'm not saying we're done, but it's in a ballpark to where we could mess with brake bias. Maybe something with the preload on the diff. But basically it's pretty good. It's not bad. So let's go down to the electronics. This is really it's fine here. So let's go here to the alignment and everything. That's where the big thing is. Especially here, I run it staggered because it's definitely more on the left than it is on the right as far as wear, because obviously you have that hard right-hand turn. There's a lot of pretty good right-hand turns. Actually, it's like a double right-hand turn there at the end of the straightaway. So let's try something here. Let's go down to there. And this is a lot of camber for the back. I don't know. I mean, they got it maxed out. So this is... I don't like that. So let's try it there. See how that works. Add a little bit of stability to it. And that's it. Let's just try it at that. I don't want to add. Everything else looks good. So we basically changed. The toe's fine. I mean, you don't, you want the very little toe with this, with the, long straightaways. Camber I left the same here, but I just lowered it on the other side because the left side's getting more of the abuse, and change the camber on the back. So let's try that. Again, sometimes it, because I'm looking again for a good race setup, something that's good on tires, but still, fast. Especially with the new update, it grains easy. So you don't want to, usually they look fine right now. We probably should be checking them, so I'll probably have to check it this next time. I'll see if I can remember to do that. I like to usually check them sometimes just to make sure I'm not graining on anything, but of course, it's just got the stock alignment on it. Yeah, I usually always hear at Paul Ricard, I run a staggered setup. Seems to wear the tires better. I definitely like how it's riding. It's riding good. It's definitely taking the bumps a lot better. Got an AMG behind us. Hope I'm not going too fast. I'm hoping communicating it all right to everybody. weird because, you know, the tires cool down so much, but then when I hit these bunch of these right-hand turns, and the left sides get real hot. They start gaining temperature like crazy. Tires look good. Comments or feedback is always welcome. Waited too late. Yeah, I lost a bunch of my time there. That was my fault.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
Rotating good. Alright.
Well done, mate. The fastest step so far.
hit it too hard that time. But still, at least it's not, you know, where it wrecks the car. I mean, again, you want something that's, you make a mistake or you hit something that, you know, the car's not just gone. Again, I really appreciate any comment or feedback of what everybody would like to see. Help me, you know, come out with stuff that's people that, you know, that everybody wants to see. I might come out with stuff that y'all don't want to see. I don't want to do that. One thing I just love how stable this thing is. It's the first time I've ever, well, I mean, I think I took some laps, but, you know, like I said, I've had no setup for this car here, so it's the first time I've really taken the BMW here. So it's doing good. And a 56.37, it's not bad for me. I mean, I'm not saying that's a awesome killer time, but I mean, it's not bad for me. I think my best time here, I can't remember. I think it's a low 55 in the Porsche. Alrighty, let's go back to the garage. Moved up to 16th. Let's look at the tires. Only 4 degrees there. That's not much. See, that's 4 degrees here too. The wear's good, 2.9, 2.8 on this side. See, the left front's taking a lot of the abuse. Still though, that's, I think it needs more. I think it does. I think it needs more. That's only 3 degrees, 3 degrees. That's not bad. Usually it's a little less for me, but all right. So we know what's going on there. Let's take a look. I want to take a look again at the replay. I think it was this lap, because the last lap we did was right here. Which, let's see. Oh no, this might be it here. So it's this one. Okay. Yeah, it's tough to get around here later in a race. Your tires are worn. It understeers like crazy through there. So that's why I'm trying to get the car to rotate as much as I can. I mean, obviously I don't want it to mess up down here at the end, down here on this double right. But I want it to rotate as good as it can, so later in a race it won't be so bad. See how it looks coming through this turn. Not bad. It's still leaning some. Okay. Back to the setup. See, I like this is, well, of course it's showing the other tire, but when it was only like 4 or 5 degrees, that's really not that much. So we need to go, I'm going to go more camber here, more there, and then here. Do that. Again, this is just a try to see if it works or not. But it seems like the tire, I don't have enough camber on this left front because it's the temperature is not that big a difference between the outer and the inner. And you know, that means I'm losing probably some grip. So just go a little bit, you know, baby steps. Here, just thinking about trying something because it's still, to me, leaning more to the left than I want. Let's just try that for kicks and giggles. Let's try it and see if it doesn't like it or not. Because that's a huge part of the track. If you can get around that double right and really make up time, you can really make up a lot of time, even if you lose it somewhere else. So, a lot of people struggle through the 2 right-hand turns. Because a lot of people run very little aero. And, of course, this car doesn't have, I mean, it only has 2, but a lot of people run, like, no wing. So then, because they get maximum speed down the straightaway, and then when they get into that turn, they can't, I mean, they're just slipping and sliding all over the place. So if you can blast through it and really attack it, man, you can make up a ton of time. I've done it so many times in the past where, you know, like the Porsche, it doesn't have a lot of straightaway speed, things like that. Or I had that race in the multiplayer with the Nissan GTR, and I mean, literally an Audi in front of me just pull away, and then I would make up tons of time all through there. I'd get right back on his tail. By the time we went to the 2 rights and going up to that next left, I would already be right on his rear end. So you can make up a lot of time to those 2 right-hand turns. Plus, it's consistency because you're not going to have to worry about tiptoeing or wrecking through there. So especially when you're fighting it out with another car, you definitely want to be solid through there. So we're all set to go for the next practice. And I might just do a little bit of it and then move on. Just skip the session and move on to qualifying. So I might just do very little bit of it. We qualified 16th. Timetables. Alright, I mean, there's a 10th there. A little over a 10th of a second. And that's another 10th of a second. So right there, if these 2 were all in this one lap, I would be a low 56. I'd be like a 56.10. That's not bad. I mean, it's tough in this company because these guys are, these guys are fast with the AI at 97. I mean, look at him. He's running a 54.68. Good grief. But still, I mean, that's for me. That's not a bad time. So, well, of course, we'll have to keep following the temperatures of the track because I'm sure as the day goes, it's going to get a little hotter as the morning goes. So I hope you check out my other videos. I got the one with I just did the multiplayer at Spa and really bad bad weather conditions, and that was just an awesome race. And some of the other ones that are out there if you haven't checked them out. And I do setup guides once in a while. Like I said, I don't know how good I am with it, but I just try to communicate what I'm doing and how I go about it. So you guys can do adjustments, because again, these are good baselines, but you're always changing stuff depending on the conditions and how you want the car to react. So I try to get them pretty neutral, maybe a little free, because that's speed. It's you can't be, they got to be a little bit free, but all right, let's go take this thing out.
Green light, go, go, go.
She's ready to, I got it already ready to go. Now we're moved down here now. I didn't think I was down that far. This is a hard right here, when you're hitting that really hard. There's a lot of hard right-hand turns, and a lot of the lefts are not, they're slow. It's like this one, which is more mechanical grip than aero grip. It's like this one. See how this thing works. A lot of these tracks like this one, Monza, even Barcelona, it's got some real hard, 2 or 3 hard turns that are going the same direction. I mean, I like to do this. It seems easier on tire wear. I hate that curve. That thing is way too. I like to stay away from that left side curve there. Definitely upset the car. Those two, they're pretty good.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the right.
Gobble up the
Clear on
force
the right.
on the straightaway. Yeah, the aggressive setups are a lot better than when they first came out. Because they've redone them. I don't know how many times. Probably, I don't know if they just did them once, but
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
they're definitely way better. I can do better the next time through there.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
Tires are getting warm. Amazing how much the tire cools off going down this straightaway. Little the pressures and everything.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
over me. Play with the Porsche. See, he's wicked on these insects. Look at it, just yanking away. Well, he might be letting off. I don't know. Nah, too wide. Good time. I wish I wouldn't have gone wide there. Better this lap. Tires still need to come down a little bit. It's so hard because they go up and down so much depending upon, you know, the track. Wide there too. Oh, we lost it all. Go in and see the tires getting hot, left front. Let's see what they're wearing to. So the tire pressures are low 28s. The rears aren't too bad, but the fronts. Uh, 6 degrees there. That's not too bad, really. That's still only 4. See, it's still wearing the inside here. So see, I don't like that. What's the no graining. No graining on there, but still. See, I don't like that. back to there. Just leave it there. These need to come down pressure-wise. A few tenths. Just to get it back well into 27s. These aren't too bad in the back. Let's see, check a look at the video and see what it does from there. Let's look at this last lap. I look a lot of video because, I mean, it's a good way to see what the how the car's reacting, and looking for skid marks, looking for bottoming out, sparks. Especially if I'm running it on the low side, the car pretty low. See if I'm missing my line real bad. Forgot to do. Gotta change the camera angle. So I like to see from the front to see if it's really leaning real bad. It's still leaning some. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so that's probably not the way to go. That's what I was trying to find out. Okay, so that answers that. So we will change this back to that. I'll lower these down a little bit because upsets the car as far as the stiffness of it. But what I want to do is maybe put another little bit more sway bar in it, just to get it to stay level. I might add a little bit to the rear too. And that is to keep the car flat. That's what I'm trying to accomplish, as flat as I can keep it on those high-speed turns, so that let the aero do its job and not mess up the aero balance of the car by pitching, all that kind of stuff. So I still want the car to rotate evenly, but I don't want the thing to put on one corner, of especially like, the one tire or the one sides and all that. So that's what I'm trying to do. Let the aero work instead of overworking the mechanical part of it. At least that's the idea anyway. So let's try this. See how it goes. Let's go ahead and skip this and go to qualifying, so we can do that, because I could be doing this stuff during that. Car's pretty close. Car's probably going to get even hotter, so it keeps going up. So what I'm going to do with that is I'll come down a couple tenths on every tire. There we go.
Green light, give it all you can.
Yep. Just because I know the tires are going to get hot with the temperature coming up. Beautiful GT3 cars. Man. Yeah, I'd rather take the bumps a little better, and it doesn't really seem to help, you know, racing to one side more than the other. So this is something to try, see if it helps at all. We'll do the sway bar instead. That'll probably have better effect anyway. Might have to open up the ducts again. Might leave it alone for now. The brake ducts. So we're just going to try this for a few laps, see how it reacts. See how the tire temps are, see how the wear is. Might loosen up the shocks a little bit more, just so it takes those big bumps better, just a little bit. Whoa! Jeez, criminy! I didn't know the guy was trying to stop. Gee whiz. Yeah, back tire is already running pretty hot. goes.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
I had to hit this curb right there too hard. It just upsets the car like crazy. Any of these curbs, I try not to get on them too hard. Wide there.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far.
Tire temp's still a little high. Come in. Tires are still getting warm. Need to come down. All need to come down probably a couple tenths again. 5 degrees, 4 degrees, 3 degrees, 3 degrees. Go up nose. I'll leave it fine. At least it's wearing even here. I like to see that. That's even. They're all even. So left front's the one that's taking all the abuse. Going up in the spring in the back, help the car turn and plus stiffen it up. I hate going more any roll bar because the back end's already sliding some, so my idea is to get the wheel rate in the back a little higher, and that'll push more weight to the front just a little bit. So it's not as big as making an aero call, but see, we're already at 1.1 now. And that's just from the suspension stuff. So I might go 1 aero here, just 1. We might have to go put it back because that might be too much. But I'm really trying to get this thing to rotate as much as it can. Turn these down some more. Couple clicks on the fast bump. See if it'll calm it down on some of those big bumps over these curbs. Turn this down to 40 liters, a little less weight. We're only going to have a few laps and that's it. Coming. Like I said, the springs might be too much, but it's just 1 click up. Baby. Pretty good. nobody to draft with. It's all on our own. Alright, better. Oh, geez, one down. Still better.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
Alright, come on. If I can pick up a little bit. Personal fastest now. That's about right near our fastest time. Still need to work on the tires. Like I said, it's a constant chase. Tire temperatures are always chasing them all the time. Made up a little bit of time here at the end.
Session is now over.
well, not as good as I wanted to do, but it's about as close as
Your lap time is invalidated. Please try to stay on the track.
about as close as we did on the other time as far as our fastest time. I think it was, you know, a 39. I think a 37 or 33 or something was the fastest we had. So that's really close to the fastest. I was hoping to get into the 55s, but see, there's 4 tenths. There's 3.5 tenths right there, and 1/10 there. So it should have, you know, we could have ran a low. Oh wait a minute, it's the wrong one. Here we are. That's about only. That's not that much. That's about 3/10. So about 3/10. We still could have been a low, almost a 56.10 or 56.0 if I could have put all three of these together. So a lot of it's me, but just getting a good lap together to where it, you know, it all equals out the same. Let's look at that. Last lap. See the attitude of the car. Yeah, I might take the bump stops down just a little bit. Try to smoothen it out a little bit more. Let's take a look and see what the front end looks like up here. Not bad. Not bad. Still leaning hard. But, you know, it's going to lean some. It's just the car's a bigger car, and it's lots of hard right-hand turn right there. I actually might throw a little bit more sway bar in it. And it seemed like the sway bar adjustment going up, just the one, has helped it a lot. So I might do that and soften up the bump stops just a little bit, so it goes over the bumps a little bit better, doesn't upset the car as much. Alrighty, let's see. So let's go over the setup. Yeah, definitely. I think this had to be turned down. They were getting hot. These weren't too bad. And then this. Turn those down. Just to turn all these down just one click. I'll put that one real high. It's almost maxed out, but it's just that front end is just wanting to turn so bad. I'm going to turn this up to 1. Everything else good there. Yeah, it's 1.3. I'm going to lower this back down. Go back to where it was. Back to 61. So we're down to around 1.1 again. That's right where it was before. And see, that leaves us neutral. And what I can do, and I haven't even touched the brake bias. And that's what I can do. I mean, if it's not rotating enough, I can throw some brake bias into it, more towards the rear. And that'll help it rotate. And that's what I like. I like to keep the car pretty neutral, maybe a little bit on the rotate and just a little bit on the fast side, but not too crazy. And then if I need to, I can adjust it with the brake bias during the race. So again, we'll go over the setup. Tires, you know, 25, 25.8. And then right front's 26.3, 26.4. So again, that's really close. In fact, I'll just go 26.3 on both sides. Or, you know, both right front and right rear, because that right rear was getting up over 28. The toe in the front is negative 0.1, and the camber is negative 3.8 on the left and negative 3.7 on the right, and the caster at 12.1, and the toe on the rear was 0.1, and the camber was negative 3 and negative 2.9. You know, negative 3 on the left and negative 2.9 on the right. Electronics I haven't even touched. 2, 3, which is fine right here. Fuel, I'm going to put this back up to 50 liters with the number 2 brake pad. Mechanical, 9 on the anti-roll bar, 60.1 on the brakes. Wheel rate on the front is 166,000 with an 1100 bump stop rate and a 0 bump stop range. And then the rear is 126,000 for the wheel rate with a 700 bump stop rate and a number 2 bump stop range. And anti-roll bar is 4 with the preload on diff 120. Dampeners on the front 20, 14, 26, and 25. And on the rear it's 15, 10, 20, and 18. Arrow, we have 53 on the front for ride height and 61 on the rear with the number 2 rear wing. And I'm going to go with a 3 and a 1 on the brake ducts. Because, I mean, 2 I don't mind in qualifying, but I'm going to go with 3 in the race. And that'll add a little bit, cool it down a little bit on the front. So maybe in the tires too, because that left front was getting a little hot. So maybe that'll help cool it down just a little bit. I just need a teeny bit. I don't need much. And that should do it on that. And, you know, really this, you know, again, like I showed, which I'll show again. You know, if we put all these 3 sectors together, I should be a real low 56. So that's good for me. Like I said, my fastest is like a mid 55, I think, or a lower 55. I'd have to look it up in the Porsche. But you know, with this car, I mean, a lower 56 would be really good for me. I know a lot of other people could probably do better, but I think it's a good base setup. And again, if you'll, you know, try it out, let me know. And if you have any questions, feedback, comments, you know, anytime, I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And, you know, I'm going to go ahead and end this video on this because it's already been pretty long. And what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do the race since I've come this far. And it'll be on another video with the setup. And, you know, because some people don't want to watch this whole thing and don't really care about the setup. So that way everybody can pick and choose what they want. And then, of course, if you want to watch the race and see the outcome of there, you can go and watch that video also. So that way it's just better for everybody. But I sure appreciate it. I hope you liked the video, and I hope I communicated it well, and I hope you enjoyed it. I really try hard to communicate it, and so we just have a good time, you know, messing around with ACC. And I appreciate all my subscribers. Just thank you so very much for your support, and you know, we'll see you the next time. Bye.